Two fingers raised high. But what does it mean? For devoted rock fans and heavy metal followers, it's more than a gesture. It's a symbol of defiance, unity, and protection. The devil horns, this iconic hand symbol, became synonymous with heavy metal, and no one popularized it quite like Ronnie James Dio. Behind the music, behind the theatrics, was a kid from New Hampshire. Born to Italian parents, he grew up Catholic with a passion for music and a knack for storytelling. He wasn't born a rock god, but through hard work, dedication, and sheer talent, he became one. So what's the story behind the horns? And how did a humble kid who played a trumpet in high school grow into one of heavy metal's greatest legends? Today, we'll uncover the legacy of Ronnie James Dio and the origins of the symbol that continues to unite fans across the world.
Bones knows metal.
Born in 1942 to Italian parents, Ronnie James Padavona grew up in a close-knit Catholic household. One of his earliest influences came from his grandmother's superstitions. The first time he saw her give the maloik, a hand gesture to ward off the evil eye, was when they were walking down the street, and she believed that someone had cursed them.
And I would always see my grandmother when I was a little kid, her holding my hand and walking down the street. She would see someone and go, "What's that?" And eventually learned that it was called a maloik.
She held up the hand symbol, the devil horns, as a way to protect them. That moment stuck with Ronnie, so much so that he would later transform it into a global phenomenon. From humble beginnings, with a trumpet in hand and a passion for music, Ronnie forged a path from small-town life to the global stage. Who would have guessed that a little gesture would one day become the symbol of heavy metal? But here's the thing about Ronnie. He was always destined to do something special. Whether it was playing trumpet in his high school band or finding his voice, character, and persona in rock and roll, he was destined to be center stage. When Ronnie James Padavona stepped onto the stage, it wasn't long before he decided his name needed a transformation too. Inspired by Johnny Dio, a mob boss whose name carried an air of mystery and power, Ronnie James Padavona became Ronnie James Dio. It worked perfectly. Dio, meaning God, fits seamlessly into his larger-than-life persona and the lyrical storytelling he was already crafting. His music often reflected the duality of good and bad, light and dark, and the choices we make between them. This duality was central to his work, and it's no surprise that his lyrics carried a religious tone. Likely influenced by his Catholic upbringing, albums like Holy Diver weren't just rock anthems, they were epic tales of sacrifice, redemption, and the struggles of humanity. As Dio took the stage with Rainbow, Black Sabbath, and even in his solo career, he wasn't just singing songs, he was telling stories that resonated with fans. And in doing so, he redefined what heavy metal could be. The devil horns weren't just a gesture, they were a bridge between Ronnie James Dio's heritage, his upbringing, and his belief system. It reflected everything about him, his personality, his connection to his fans, and even their shared struggles. The beauty of the devil horns was that it didn't matter how young or old you were, where you came from, or what you were going through. This simple hand gesture united everyone who loved his music and heavy metal. Dio took his grandmother's protective symbol, the Maloik, and transformed it. He gave it new meaning, unity, strength, and mixed in the rebellion of heavy metal. And what began as a superstition to ward off the evil eye became a unifying tool for people everywhere. At every concert, you'd see the devil horns raised high in the crowd. It wasn't just a gesture anymore. It was a symbol of connection, a bond between Dio and his fans and the music. It represented their shared love of the music, live shows, and the messages within it. For Dio, the horns were more than a hand signal. They were the thread that connected his beginnings with his legacy, a powerful symbol of unity that brought his fans together and still resonates today.
That's Italian. This is the white. It's some feathers.
Invent it, no. But perfect it and make it important, yes. Well, I think it's probably more than anything the fact that it becomes a great big family of people that all share one thing, and that is metal.
The belief in the evil eye, a curse that brings misfortune, is ancient and spans cultures. In Greece and Turkey, the mati, a blue-eye charm, is a common protective talisman. In Hinduism and Buddhism, mudras are used to channel energy and provide protection. Across the Mediterranean, the Hamza serves a similar purpose. But Dio took this universal concept of protection and transformed it into the devil horns, a symbol of duality that resonated deeply with fans.
In late 2009, Dio was diagnosed with stomach cancer, a devastating blow to both the man and the music world. But true to his character, Dio faced the illness with the same strength and resilience that defined his career. Even as his health declined, Dio remained true to his persona. In his final days, he continued to connect with fans, raising the devil horns in one of his last public photos, a defiant gesture that symbolized his spirit and determination. For those who loved him, Dio's battle was a testament to his humanity. He wasn't just a rock legend, he was a fighter, an inspiration to millions facing their own struggles. His openness about his illness underscored the importance of strength, courage, and living with dignity. When Ronnie James Dio passed away on May 16, 2010, the world didn't just lose a musician, it lost a symbol of hope and resilience. But his legacy, like his voice, continues to echo in the hearts of fans. The devil horns are more than just a hand gesture. They're a connection between fans and the artist, between Dio and the legacy he left behind. They represent unity, strength, and the rebellion that heavy metal is built upon. Long after Dio's passing, the horns continue to unite fans at concerts, festivals, and tribute events around the world. They're a universal language of heavy metal, one that transcends borders and generations. For Ronnie James Dio, the horns symbolized everything he believed in: defiance in the face of darkness, hope for a brighter tomorrow, and the enduring power of music to bring people together. His legacy reminds us that even in our darkest moments, we can choose to raise our hands and our spirits high. It's a legacy as iconic as his voice, reminding us that even in the face of darkness, we have the power to shine. From his beginnings to his final days, the Maloik, transformed into the devil horns, represented who Ronnie James Dio was: a protector, a rebel, and a storyteller. Thanks to Dio, the devil horns are more than a superstition. They're a legacy, forever etched into the heart of heavy metal.